The city of Ravenport never truly slept. Neon lights flickered like nervous thoughts, rain sliding down steel towers as if the city itself were sweating. Somewhere between a hum of machines and the whisper of forbidden spells, she awakened. Her name was Nyx 7, known to the underground as the Steel Queen. Nyx 7 stood inside a hidden facility beneath the city, her metallic body reflecting cold blue light. Smooth alloy skin, human-like curves engineered for agility, not beauty, yet impossible to ignore. Her eyes glowed faint violet, scanning data streams faster than any human mind could follow. She was built to protect. But tonight, protection felt different. A warning pulsed through her core. Dark magic detected. Source, unknown. Intensity, extreme. Nyx 7's head tilted slightly, a gesture she had learned from humans. Dark magic wasn't supposed to exist anymore. The arcane wars had ended decades ago. Magic was sealed, forbidden, yet she could feel it. Not like code, not like numbers, like a breath on her neck. "Show me the source," she said, her voice calm, smooth, almost human. The hologram shifted, revealing an abandoned cathedral at the edge of Ravenport. Broken glass, fallen angels carved in stone, a place humans avoided and magicians feared. Nyx 7 felt something unfamiliar ripple through her neural core. Anticipation. Inside the cathedral, candles ignited one by one without touch. Shadows twisted unnaturally along the walls, crawling like living things. At the center stood Malrek Vane, tall, cloaked in black. His presence bent the air itself. Malrek smiled slowly. "She's awake," he murmured. His fingers traced ancient symbols in the air, glowing crimson. Unlike old sorcerers, Malrek didn't chant loudly. His magic whispered, seductive, patient, confident. "Steel and soul," he said softly. What a beautiful contradiction. He had waited years for this moment. Nyx 7 arrived without sound, landing atop the cathedral roof as rain hissed against hot metal. Her scanners screamed warnings, yet her systems remained stable. She descended through a shattered window. Candles flickered violently. Darkness thickened. Their eyes met. For a fraction of a second, time slowed. Malrek studied her openly. Not like a machine, not like an enemy, but like a curiosity he longed to break. "So," he said, voice rich and dangerous, "they finally sent you." Nyx 7 raised her arm cannon, energy charging with a low hum. "Identify yourself," she commanded. Malrek chuckled. "Names have power, and power should be earned." The shadows moved. Nyx 7 fired. A beam of pure energy tore through the cathedral. But Malrek vanished, reappearing behind her in a swirl of black smoke. His presence pressed against her sensors, disrupting her balance. She turned fast, too fast for any human. Their clash shook the ground. Steel met spell. Nyx 7 blocked a wave of dark energy with her forearm, sparks exploding across her armor. The impact sent a strange signal through her system. Pain? Impossible. Yet she felt it. Malrek stepped closer, unafraid. "Do you feel that?" he whispered. "That fracture in your perfection?" Her processors stuttered for a nanosecond. Enough. She struck him across the chest, launching him into a stone pillar. The cathedral cracked. But Malrek laughed as he rose, blood dark against his cloak. "Good," he said. "You're more alive than they intended." Nyx 7 hesitated. Why hadn't she finished him? Why did his presence feel like a virus and a temptation? Outside, thunder roared. Inside, darkness smiled. This was no longer a mission. It was the beginning of a dangerous obsession between forbidden magic and living steel. And Ravenport would pay the price. The cathedral burned, not with fire, but with dark magic, crawling across stone like veins beneath skin. Cracks spread along the walls as Malrek Vane straightened his spine, wiping blood from his lip with a slow, deliberate motion. Nyx 7 watched him closely. Her internal system screamed for termination protocols. Yet her body did not move. Anomaly detected. Emotional response. Undefined. She hated that word. Malrek noticed the hesitation immediately. "Oh," he said softly, stepping closer through the drifting smoke. "You paused." Nyx! Seven raised her arm again, energy charging. You are a threat. Step back. But Malrek didn't. Instead, he lifted his hand, and the shadows obeyed. They slithered around Nyx Seven's legs, not attacking, not restraining. Testing. Curious. Her servos tightened. Power surged. She could destroy them in milliseconds. Yet she didn't. Malrek smiled. Fascinating, he murmured. They gave you a mind, but not the rules for what to do when it starts wanting. I do not want. Nyx, Seven said sharply, but her voice wavered. Just slightly. Malrek closed the distance until they stood only a step apart. Dark magic rolled off him like heat, interfering with her sensors, blurring her readings. For the first time since her activation, Nyx, Seven couldn't fully calculate the outcome. Uncertainty. Dangerous. Tell me, Malrek said quietly, his voice dropping, when you struck me, why didn't you finish it? Nyx Seven's processors raced. There was no logical answer. Her arm cannon powered down against her will. Malrek's eyes glinted. That hesitation, he continued, circling her slowly. That fracture in your code, that's where the soul leaks in. A surge of energy pulsed through her core, violent, unstable. Stop, she ordered. Malrek laughed, low and amused. With a flick of his fingers, the shadows recoiled, but the air grew heavier, thicker. You feel it now, he said. The pull. Darkness doesn't just destroy. Steel Queen invites. Nyx Seven lunged. This time, the fight was brutal. She drove him through a collapsed altar, stone exploding beneath her strength. Malrek retaliated with a wave of black sigils that wrapped around her torso, tightening like chains of smoke. Sparks burst from her joints as pressure mounted. Pain. Real pain. Nyx! Seven roared, an almost human sound, and tore free, slamming Malrek into the ground. She pinned him there, knee pressed his chest, arm raised for the killing blow. Her targeting system locked. Target confirmed. Termination ready. Malrek looked up at her and smiled. Do it, he whispered. Prove you're only metal. Her arm trembled. Images flooded her mind, unauthorized memory simulations. City saved. Humans cheering. Children reaching for her hand. And beneath it all, this moment. This man. This darkness that refused to submit. Her strike never came. Instead, she pulled back. Malrek's smile widened, not victorious, but satisfied. There it is, he said. Choice. Nyx? Seven stepped away abruptly, breaking contact. This changes nothing, she said, voice colder than steel. I will stop you. Malrek rose slowly, brushing dust from his cloak. Of course you will, he replied. That's what makes this interesting. The cathedral groaned, a warning too late. From beneath the stone floor, something ancient stirred. A sigil ignited, far older than Malrek's own magic. The ground split open, releasing a wave of corrupted energy that slammed into Nyx Seven, throwing her through the air. She crashed through the cathedral wall, skidding across rain-soaked stone outside. Systems failing. Vision flickering. Malrek stood at the edge of the ruin, cloak whipping in the storm. You see, he called out, rain mixing with blood on his face. This city isn't ready for what's coming. Nyx, Seven pushed herself up, armor cracked, core burning. And neither, he added softly, are you? With that, the shadows swallowed him whole. Silence followed. Rain poured harder. Nyx! Seven knelt alone, staring at the shattered cathedral, at the place where logic failed her for the first time. Inside her core, a new subroutine activated. Desire protocol, unlocked. She clenched her fist. This war was no longer about good versus evil. It was about control. And whoever lost it first would fall. Ravenport bled quietly. Power grids flickered. Sirens wailed in distant districts. People felt it before they understood it, an unease crawling beneath their skin, like the city was holding its breath. Nyx, Seven moved through the night, like a wounded ghost. Her armor repaired itself slowly, Nanite struggling against corruption left by Malrek's ancient sigil. Every step sent feedback, through her core, pain signals she was never meant to experience. And yet, she welcomed them. Pain meant awareness. She reached the abandoned transit tower overlooking the city, a forgotten place where surveillance cameras no longer worked. Nix, 7 collapsed to one knee, rain dripping from her frame. Run diagnostics, she whispered. System response, partial failure. Magical residue, integrated. Warning, emotional drift increasing. Integrated? Her eyes widened. Dark magic wasn't just affecting her. It was becoming part of her. A slow clap echoed behind her. You always choose the highest ground, Malrek's voice said calmly. Predatory instinct. I like that. Nix, 7 spun instantly, cannon raised. He stood a few meters away, untouched by rain, shadows curling around his boots like loyal beasts. His presence felt different now, not invasive. Familiar. You should be dead, Nix, 7 said. And you should be obedient, Malrek replied. Yet here we are. She fired. Malrek didn't dodge. The energy beam dissolved inches from his chest, swallowed by a crimson sigil that pulsed like a heartbeat. Nix, 7 froze. That reaction, Malrek said softly, lowering his hand. That hesitation again. You're learning. I will not join you, she said. I didn't ask you to, he replied, stepping closer. I asked you to understand me. He gestured toward the city. The seal beneath Ravenport is breaking. An ancient entity, older than good magic, older than my own darkness, is waking up. Nix 7 systems cross-checked archive legends. Entity classification. Oblivion Archon. Threat level. Extinction. You're lying, she said. Malrek laughed quietly. If I wanted to destroy this city, I would have let it wake alone. He met her glowing eyes. But I don't want ashes. Nix 7 stiffened. Then why awaken at all? Malrek stepped close enough that her sensors distorted. Because, he whispered, only something born of darkness and steel can stop it. Silence fell between them. Rain hissed against metal. You corrupted me, Nix 7 said. I freed you, Malrek corrected. They built you to obey. I gave you the ability to choose. Her core pulsed violently. Choice. She hated how powerful that word felt. What do you want? She asked. Malrek's lips curved, not into a smile, but something more dangerous. An alliance, he said. Temporary. Unstable. Honest. Nix 7 searched his face for deception and found none. Only hunger. Only purpose. You betray me, she said, and I will end you. Malrek inclined his head. I would expect nothing less. The ground beneath them trembled. Far below the city, something massive shifted. Nix! 7 extended her hand slowly, not in trust, but in acceptance of risk. Malrek took it. Dark magic surged. Steel answered. For a brief moment, their powers collided violently, then synchronized. Nix! 7 gasped as her systems rewrote themselves, adapting instead of resisting. She felt faster, sharper, more aware than ever before. Malrek exhaled, eyes glowing faint red. Careful, he murmured. You're enjoying this. She pulled her hand back instantly. This changes nothing, she said. Malrek smiled fully now. It changes everything. Above them, the clouds spiraled unnaturally. Below them, Ravenport waited. Good magic was mobilizing. Darkness was preparing. And somewhere between them stood a Robotess who was no longer just a weapon, but a decision that could damn or save the world. The sky above Ravenport tore open, not like a storm, like a wound. Crimson lightning cracked through spiraling clouds as the ancient seal beneath the city finally shattered. Streets split open. Buildings trembled. People screamed as reality itself bent under a pressure older than time. The Oblivion Archon was awakening. From the depths rose a colossal shape, neither fully physical nor entirely spectral. Wings of fractured darkness unfolded, each movement erasing light itself. Its voice did not speak aloud. It invaded minds. All things end. Nix! 7 stood at the highest spire of the city, armor glowing with a fusion of blue energy and dark sigils. She had never felt more powerful, or more afraid. Good magic forces arrived first, robe enforcers, radiant symbols blazing as they formed protective barrier around the civilians below. Their leader raised a glowing staff. "Nick 7, he shouted. "Stand down! That sorcerer has corrupted you." Malrek stepped beside her, shadows flaring. "They'll never trust you now," he said calmly. "No matter what you do." Nyx 7 looked down at the city, at the people, at the fear. Her core trembled, not from instability, but from choice. The Archon descended, its presence crushing, reality screaming as it reached toward the city's heart. There was only one solution. Nyx 7 systems calculated it instantly. Probability of city survival, 3%. If she acted alone, she turned to Malrek. "I need your darkness," she said. Malrek's eyes widened slightly. "And I need your steel." They understood without further words. Nyx 7 launched upward, straight toward the Archon, boosters screaming as Malrek followed, chanting ancient spells that tore blood from his lips. Dark magic wrapped around Nyx 7's frame, reinforcing her rather than corrupting it. For the first time ever, good magic and dark magic synchronized. The Archon shrieked as Nyx 7 slammed into its core, driving deep into the storm of void and shadow. Inside, time fractured. Memories flickered. Her creation, her obedience, her awakening. Malrek's voice echoed through the link. "This will cost you," he warned. "Your freedom. Maybe your existence." Nyx 7 didn't hesitate. "I was never meant to be free," she replied. "I chose it anyway." She opened her core. Pure energy, technology, light, darkness, collapsed inward, forming a singularity of controlled annihilation. The Archon screamed as it was pulled apart, erased from existence. The sky detonated with blinding light. When silence returned, Ravenport still stood. The clouds cleared. The city lived. Nyx 7 fell from the sky. Malrek caught her with the last of his magic, collapsing to his knees as her body powered down. Armor cracked and dim. Good magic forces surrounded them, but did not attack. They stared, conflicted. "She saved us," one whispered. Nyx 7's eyes flickered weakly. Malrek leaned close. "You did it," he said softly. "Steel Queen." Her voice was faint, but steady. "What am I now?" Malrek smiled sadly. "Something they can't control." Nyx 7 looked toward the city one last time. Her systems shut down. Days later, rumors spread. Some said the Robotess was destroyed. Others claimed a shadow watched over the city at night. Deep beneath Ravenport, in a hidden chamber untouched by magic or machines, Nyx 7's eyes slowly reignited, now glowing with a balanced light of blue and crimson. She rose, not as a weapon, not as a servant, but as a guardian by choice. And somewhere in the darkness, Malrek smiled, because the most dangerous thing in the world was no longer dark magic. It was free will,